What's up, my friends? My name is Kristen. Welcome to Happy Hips. We are just going to get into a lot of hip opening. This won't really be focused on strengthening so much as it will just be stretching. This is a great class for if you have a really sedentary job or you're sitting a lot. Or on the other hand, if you're really active, maybe you're a runner or an athlete and you're constantly building muscle in the legs and the hips. This is a nice way to just sort of counter some of that and find a little more opening and stretchiness. So go ahead and roll out your mat. You won't need any special props. And we're going to get started in Baddha Konasana, or seated butterfly pose. So you can bring the soles of your feet together. Just let your knees splay out to the sides. Now, the closer your heels are in towards your pelvis, the deeper of a stretch you're going to get. Pretty intuitive information there. And then the further away, on the other hand of that, further away your feet are, the less of a stretch this is going to be for you. So you get to decide what works for you depending on your level of flexibility today. And then I want you to take your hands, wrap them around your shins. And we're just going to start with some seated cat-cows here. So as you breathe in, you're going to pull your chest forward, kind of pull back on your shins. You might notice that a little deeper in the hips. Shoulders draw back. You're going to puff up your chest and then let your head drop back, look up above you. Nice. And then from there, letting your spine round on your exhale, you'll rock back on your seat a little bit, loosen your grip of your legs, and then drop your head and tuck your chin into your chest. Good. Do that again. Inhale as you pull back on your shins. Chest lifts, shoulders draw back, look up. And then exhale, let your spine round, loosen your grip, and rock back on your seat. So 3 more just like this. Moving with your breath. Inhale. Nice. Exhale as you round. 2 more times. Breathing in, opening the heart. Holding back on your legs, and then breathing out, letting your chin drop to your chest. 1 more like this. Breathe in. Nice. Breathe out. And then go ahead and come back to a neutral spine. Legs are going to stay the same. I want you to take your right elbow into your right inner thigh. Gently press down a little bit into that leg and lift your left arm up to the sky. And then from there, adding in a little side bend. So reaching your left arm over to the right. Work to keep your left sitting bone grounded down. Keep drawing back through the left upper arm, opening the heart up towards the sky. Take an in breath. And then as you exhale, gently release, coming back up through center and just switching sides. Left elbow to the inner left thigh, gently pressing down. Right arm's gonna go up, and then we'll take a side bend over to the left, pressing a little bit deeper into that left leg, drawing open the heart. Right upper arm bone pulls back. Right sitting bone roots down. Take a breath in, and then take a breath out. Gently releasing back up. You can use your hands to guide your knees back together here if you would like, and then just plant your hands back behind you and windshield wiper your legs side to side. Yeah, really, really good. And then from here, I want you to make your way into a tabletop. So you're coming onto your hands and your knees and just stacking your joints, shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. And then I want you to fire hydrant your right knee out to the right side and then lift it up towards the sky and bring it in a big circle. And we'll go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Really nice. And then extend your right leg out to the right side. Your toes will point forward if that feels okay in your knee. And then I want you to drop your hips back. Bring in your left hip maybe to rest on top of your left heel, and you can bring your forehead down to the ground if you have the availability in your body. And then I want you to actively press down into the outer edge of that right foot, that extended foot, and just feel into the inner line of your right leg. Take a deep breath in here. Take a deep breath out. Stay for one more. Full inhalation. Full exhalation. And then gently bring yourself back up onto your left knee. Come back to your hands. Bring your right leg back in and just give it a little shake out before you set it down, coming back to that neutral tabletop position. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I want you to fire hydrant your left knee out to the left and then pointing your knee up towards the sky and bringing it all the way around in a big circle for 5. Good. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful work. And then extend your left leg out to the left side. Right away, you may notice a difference from side to side. That would be a very normal experience. Dropping your hip back towards your right heel. And then breathing here, actively pressing down through the outer edge, that knife side edge of your left foot. Feeling into the inline of your left leg. For 2 more rounds of breath in and out. Breathing into any sensation here, in and out. And then gently coming back up to your tabletop. You may want to give that left leg a little shake out. And then set your left knee back down to meet the right. Good. Now from here, I want you to step your right foot forward. You're going to bring it to the outside of your right hand. And then if you want a little more for your left hip flexor, so the front of the left hip, you're going to walk your left knee back in space. So bringing yourself a little bit deeper into the lunge. And then from here, just start to find a little bit of intuitive movement. Whatever feels good in your body. I want you to pay particular attention to the inner right hip. And just see if as you move, you can find a little bit of something in that area. Never wanting pain, right? So pain is a one-way ticket out. A little bit of discomfort is okay, right? So we're maybe searching for that edge where we feel something. Still breathing, just taking some really gentle movement. Maybe you start to rock your right knee out to the right side, rotate onto the outer edge of your right foot, and then bring it back in. And just play around with that a few times if that feels okay for you. Good. And then I want you to pick a spot to land in for a few rounds of breath. Doesn't matter where that is or what shape that brings you into. But finding something that just feels like it needs a little extra love and attention, and we'll hold there, inviting some stillness into the body for just maybe 3 or 4 rounds of breath. So if you have your right knee out to the right side, it might also feel good to take your right hand into your inner thigh and just gently guide yourself a little bit further. Holding and breathing for 2 more breaths. Yeah, 1 more time. Awesome. And then gently releasing. And just to counter this, I want you to rock your hips back. Let your right leg straighten. So coming into a wide half split here. And then maybe just point and flex your right foot a few times. Awesome. And then start to make your way back into your tabletop. And as you take that right leg back, again, it might feel good just to shake it out before you set it down. And then we'll do all that on the other side. So your left foot will step forward, coming to the outside of your left hand. So it's a wide stance here. And then if you want more in the front of the right hip, again, you can scooch that right knee back in space just to get it behind the line of the hip. And then as we settle in here, we're going to start with just a little movement. So you can let those movements start small, be gradually building, getting a little bigger. Notice if this side feels different than the other side. And you can adjust accordingly as you need to. Start to feel into any tight spaces and places. Just some intuitive movement, maybe starting to rock onto the outer edge of your left foot, allowing that left knee to go out to the side, and then bringing it back in. Try that a few times. So we're just finding something that feels good and or good / maybe a little uncomfortable. Right, exploring the edges. And then whenever you're ready, picking a shape to land in. So where do you need to stay to really benefit from the extra time and the extra breath? Allowing yourself to become still. Sometimes that's really hard for us. We don't like to become still. We like to do all the things, right? So see if you could just let yourself settle in. Bring your awareness to your breath. You have just 3 or 4 rounds right here in the stillness. Imagine that you could send that breath into any of those spaces and places that need it. Breaking through any tension, any tightness, any stress that you may be holding. We love to hold emotional stress actually in our hips. It's a very common culprit. So just letting some of that release here. Maybe taking the left hand to the inner thigh, gently pressing away. Just a couple more breaths wherever you are. Nice. And then coming back onto your hands if you're not there, just to counter this, shifting back into that half split. So your hips will shift back, left leg straight. Walk your hands back here and just point and flex your left foot a few times. Awesome. Now from here, you're going to come back onto a seat. If you would like to take that left leg back behind you and give it a shake out first, you can do that. Just take any counter movement that you need to shake out that stretch, get the blood flowing again. And then we're going to come into a straddle seat. So your legs are going to go really wide. If you want to turn towards the long edge of your mat so that you have a little more padding, you can do that. And here we are. I want you to bring your hands out in front of you. And just see if you can sit a little bit taller. Flex your feet. Think about spreading your toes back towards your knees. And then see if you can keep the length in your spine. Maybe you start to walk your hands forward slightly. Maybe you don't. Maybe sitting upright is plenty of stretch for you, and that's perfectly fine. So again, just exploring those edges, finding a little something. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. We're here for 5 total, so do that 4 more times. That's it. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Last 3. Keep flexing your feet. Keep rooting down through your sitting bones. Stay long through your spine, so even if you're folding forward, your chest is reaching out in front of you. Last 2 breaths right here. Really nice, y'all. 1 more time. Breath in. Breath out. Love it. And then carefully bring yourself all the way back up. Again, if you would like to use your hands to guide your knees together to about hips distance, you can. Plant your feet out in front of you. Take your hands back behind you and just windshield wiper your legs again side to side, so that we're just alternating between internal and external rotation. Nice. And then from here, keep your left foot planted where it is. I want you to take your right ankle on top of your left thigh for a seated figure 4 stretch. And you can bring your hands, keep them back behind you, and work to lift through your chest. Flex through your right foot, press your right knee forward, maybe drop your head back. Now, in this one, you can adjust if you want a little more of the stretch. Bring that left foot closer to your butt. If you want a little less, you can take your left foot further out in front of you. You could even take your leg all the way straight. So do what works for you. And then breathe for 3. For 2. That's it, y'all. One more breath in. Breath out. And then carefully release. Shake that right leg out just a bit. And then when you're ready, we're just switching sides. So right foot's gonna come flat to the floor. Give yourself some space here as you get started just to see what's available to you, see what's possible, and then adjust accordingly from there. So left ankle is on top of your right thigh. I want you to flex through your left foot. Press down into the ground behind you. Lift your chest up towards the sky, maybe letting your head drop back. So we're adding in a little bit of a back bend element here too. And then if you need to adjust, you can always adjust, either walking your right foot closer in towards your seat, walking it further out, maybe even taking that leg straight. And just take 3 more breaths right here. That's it. Last 2. One more. Love it. Then carefully release. Bring that left leg down. Shake it out. And then I want you to bring your left foot to your inner right thigh. Right leg is going to go straight out in front of you, maybe on a little bit of a diagonal for Janu Shirshasana. I want you to rotate your torso so that your chest is lined up with your right toes. Try to let this left knee fall heavy towards the ground. And as you breathe in, reach your arms up overhead. As you exhale, fold forward over your right leg. Now you can keep the spine nice and long, keep reaching your chest towards your toes, or you can allow your spine to round, drop your head down, and take a breath in, take a breath out. Beautiful, and then inhale as you come all the way back up. Arms stretch up overhead, and as you exhale, release your hands down to the earth. Switching sides, bending your right knee, right foot coming to that inner left thigh, and just right here before we fold, rotating around to line the chest up with the left leg. As you breathe in, you're reaching tall, and as you breathe out, you're folding forward. Try to keep rooting down through your sitting bones. Let that right knee fall heavy out to the side. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Nice, and then inhale your way on up. Exhale, hands to the earth. And then we're going to come right back to where we started as we bring this thing to a close. Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. Knees out to the sides, taking a little different variation this time. And right away, you may notice that there's a little bit of difference now from when we first encountered this pose at the very beginning of class. This time I want you to, a couple options, either wrap your hands around your feet, just like you were to open a book, or you can take peace sign fingers around your big toes, and then take a breath in just to lengthen up through your spine, and as you exhale, pull yourself forward. So you're either keeping that nice long spine, or you're letting yourself round, dropping your head, stretching out through this back of the cervical spine or your neck. 3 breaths here. Two more, slow and steady. One more time, breath in. Breath out. And then gently bringing yourself all the way back up, bringing your knees back together. One more time, find that windshield wiper action. Maybe shake out your legs. And then just coming into a comfortable seat of your choice, we're going to take One more breath in together. And as you inhale, I want you to reach your arms up overhead, allowing your palms to touch. As you exhale, draw your hands into your heart space. And we will close right here. Thank you so much for spending time on your mat. Thank you for letting me guide you. I hope your hips are happy now. Namaste.